gotten a little bit better. I know that there's, like, if we're just talking like female wise, like I know Aerie has this thing now where all their models, they don't retouch. So that I feel like shows the real side of it, which helps. There was also that whole Dove campaign a couple of years ago about, casting any type of woman. But there's still stuff that's still really secluded, and so they only focus on like one group of people. Now there's people who are coming out straight out and being like, I'm a plus size model, like this is a good thing, and they only talk about like the good parts of plus size modeling, and then they degrade the other side of modeling, and then it goes vice versa. So it's kind of like there's no middle ground. It's like they're asking you to pick a side, and you're like, she's beautiful, why do I need to pick a side? Nowadays, yes. When I was in high school, definitely not. Again, social media wasn't a big thing, but nowadays, yeah, it's a huge difference. People of different cultures or different ethnicities are starting to realize that they can be who they are. They don't have to try and fit into some sort of, stereotype that like the Western world has given them, which is kind of a sad thing to think that we've done that. But even like regular old North Americans have kind of realized that, they can be whoever they want to be. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, but in the long run, it usually ends up being better for you, even if it's harder right at the beginning. I find when you're yourself, you find your true friends, the true people who want to be around you, not the people who act like they want to be around you, because that can really ruin who you are as an individual. So. I feel like some kids do. I feel like a lot of it depends on how their family acts in that sense. So I find like if a family is very stereotypical of, a different race or a different ethnicity, naturally the kids are going to pick up on that. They're more accepting, even though they have all this media in front of them, because of the state we're in right now where everyone can be who they want to be to a point. I feel like kids are starting to realize that, and there's a lot of kids nowadays that like someone because of their personality, not because of what they look like, which is nice to see, because I know that for a while it was kind of, you'd keep to who you knew. You wouldn't necessarily talk to someone else who was a stranger to you or whatever. Media affects kids for sure, but I think it also depends on their surroundings in general that helps with that. That's so sad. I don't know, they were all, African American kids, and they were given two babies to pick from, a white one and a black one, and watching it, you'd naturally think that the children would go for the black doll as like the nice doll or the good doll, but they go for the white, which, they didn't really explain as to why other than their color. For a while there was this whole stereotype of Black people are bad based off of, one or two issues that came up in the news of, Black individuals who had, harmed someone or something. White people who, most police officers maybe at that time were white, so people say, police officers are supposed to help you, they're the nice guys. So that kind of influences the kids themselves. I think so. I know there's a TV show that I remember watching a few years ago, and the one little girl and her mom went shopping for a Barbie doll, and it's a Caucasian family, and she goes, okay, which one do you want? And she picks the African American Barbie, and she's like, why do you like that one? She's like, I just like her skin, I like her hair color. She's like, I like the darker hair color, I don't like the blonde hair color. So at that point, the girl kind of, even though she said she liked the darker skin better, she was like, the more she talked about it, she talked about, you know, the hair. So she's like, I like the darker hair because I'm a brunette, so I like the darker haired doll. But yeah, I think there's a big difference now. There's a lot of stuff that you see on social media about, you know, young kids that, you know, a Caucasian child who's saying he wants to be friends with a black kid, and they, you know, ask the child why, and they go, because he's nice, because he's friendly. They don't say anything about what he looks like. So there's definitely has been some change. I don't think there's been enough, but there definitely has been a good amount of change.